I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is October 28th, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So they beat me to it. They sold off at that level, at that 1.5. So you got to do this on your own. It's going to be a great fucking video, but I'll try to make it short. But for the people wondering, what do I do? How do I attack this? We said we're not really interested in the market yesterday. Okay, that's fine. But we also understand probability, and you need to go to another asset to trade it. You can, but for me, I don't. Why? Because I'm a master of one, and I'd rather keep playing what I'm playing. But because it's not like it's stuck in a consolidation or some type of conversation like that. But when you have these all-time highs, we understand that when you're pushing through like that, if you have experience, especially, going from 2020, 21, 22, right, pushing up 23, you understand, like, when we break through like this is actually what you want to see when it keeps buying. But what are the probabilities? Well, I said you got to watch yesterday's video very carefully. Either Tuesday, and I mentioned I would love for this to happen, right? In a perfect world, I'd like for it to fucking sell back in here and buy again. What does this have in common with what I'm drawing here? It's bullish, number one. Number two, what does it also have in common? A pullback and an expansion, right? So we ended up getting that today, but we got it in this way. So what was it? It was a classic buy day, another buy day. And look at Tuesday. I said yesterday, is either Tuesday going to be like this candle here, this October 9th and September 23rd, remember that? Or it was going to be a bullish day. So when we have this profile of we already had the profile of the bullish day already outlined, because it retraced, stopped in that 4-hour imbalance. You're going to see the fire today. This 4-hour imbalance, I'm going to go right to it. Because the logic is that if it's going to retrace back, it's got to retrace into something, right? So it couldn't even break this 4-hour imbalance. I have it highlighted right here in the bottom left. You can see it, well, obviously on the 4-hour. And you have to do your own projection work. I cannot be holding your hand. You will never learn. But did you start looking at projections here? Look at this. Before we broke through that all-time high, I did that projection here with the swing, the last higher low to before we broke through in that high. So we have -1 there and -1.5. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I also, going back to this bottom 15-minute, you can see when we get 3 drives. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right here, bottom left still. We're already supporting in that 15-minute. Am I trading this? No, this is London. I'm sleeping. But the point of conversation is that it's a retrace, and then you expect an expansion. Okay, so you could see it algorithmically working right there, right? So then we bust through. This is pre-930. Guess what? I'm now projecting this low to high. We broke through it. Don't get lost in all this. There's nothing much here. Here's the Asia range in the little lines, and then we have the projection with the bigger lines. 1 to 1.5 is here. 2 to 2.5 is here. Okay, I got a fucking circle perfectly for it. Watch this. So I understand when the price is already here at 930, it's already a classic buy day. It's already there, right? So what happens is that in the phase from the low to the high of the day, okay, we had a retracement. We made the low. That was the open. Okay, we're underneath it. Now above it is body, right? And when we push up here, we expect a phase of retracement, which is right there. This whole fucking goofy shit right here is all just a retracement. All right, and then after that, you're going to expect an expansion. All right, it's a classic buy day. Go back test every classic buy day, right? So I'm aware of this, but guess what? I don't have a discount price. So projections here, I mentioned, and then let me move over back to this 1 minute in this picture. So you see at 9:30, we pump first. So this is a fake move, right? This is the now finale of this first expansion in the day. That's where 930 prints right here. I understand that. And guess what? I'm at a -1 right here. Look at the -1. It's to the tick where this 930 is. You have to understand that too. Watch this. Look at the -1 right here and look to the right. Look to the right. Look to the right. Wait, I'm not even on it yet. Exactly. Right there. See that? See that? Right there is this high of in the beginning of the session. Right here. Boom. It hits the -1. What does it do? Well, we have structure. I don't have to draw. This should be very clear. But I'm going to do it this way. Coming from down here. Up, retracement and expansion. Retracement and expansion. We had one internal here, by the way. And then we had another expansion. Okay. So when I'm drawing this, yes, this is elaborate. It's way overshot. It's not even realistic. I said this is what I would love to see. HLN didn't do that. What did they do? They gave you this flow. So I'm already understanding this flow before the whole day starts. Look at these bitches now doing it. I love it. And where did they sell off? Pfft, perfectly at my level. Okay, so before I continue, I understand the average daily range. What's the low of the day? Is 943. Let's just say 940 to keep it simple. That's the low of the day. The average daily range, and this is where I come into me explaining it here. The average daily range is 300 points. We are at 200 here. I'm literally specifically putting it right there on for 240 because 140 because I know the low. I'm keeping the numbers simple here for you. 940 is right here at the low of the day. So when I'm expecting this to sell down back into the opening range gap, some breakout levels. It's just a simple retracement, and I'm expecting how many sells? 3 drives. You get this funky shit here. It's just so hard to try to explain everything right now to make this video short. But let's just say this is a break drive 1 right here. We retrace deep. We take out that low. We squeeze out, but it closes in and it fucking goes sideways. Yes, ugly price action today. Yes, I was going to quit the day. But number 3, I decided to not. And this is how I get my fill, this is not traditional for me, but I'll explain how. Well, it was no choice. This is the way they fucking did it dirty here. So I'm expecting the retracement back. Okay, so we got drive 1. Drive, is this number 2? Probably not. It's a shallow. All right. And then this is drive 3. In reality, this was drive 1. This was drive 2. And this dirty shit was drive 3. The point is that it's retracing. And the point is that we're looking for an expansion after. Okay, cool. So now that we understand each other, I can't go through every single fucking thing. But here on the first imbalance, we're going sideways here. And then we start to come underneath it. Building lower highs. Okay, cool. They're coming for a drive down. You'll see I have this imbalance there. Man, there's so much to fucking say, which is super annoying right now. This is the 25% of the opening range gap. And then we come underneath this first imbalance. And then you see this imbalance. We're coming in, the body stay in. Look at the 930 level specifically. This is very clear about how the price action moved around. Sold, rejected, came right down. Okay, now we're at the 50% of the opening range gap. So what am I saying here? Classic buy day profile formed already, which is what? This right here. All this right here, pre-930. This is all already a classic buy structure day. All right, 4-hour imbalance holding price. That's this area here. Look at it. Look at the body sitting on top. And then expansion after, which is what we got here. We were already at 930. We were already in that expansion phase. And then guess what? From there, I'm going to look for a retracement. So I said expansion after 930 price retraces to opening range gap 50. This is where we're talking about down here. Okay. And then pre-lunch now expand. So I'm looking for it to turn around, right? So what do? Well, you got these drives here. You can see how it's algorithmically working. We have this imbalance, this inversion. I'm going to use that later, which is what I'm using it here. You'll see that here. I'll go on the live chart and do that. But here, I was like, okay, cool. We got a fucking break right here. This is an induced break. This is an induced shift. And they did this shit on purpose. And that's okay. And I took a loss because of it. And guess what? That's okay. Because I know it's still going to probably pan out. But they wanted one more drive. And that's what that is. This is what this is. But anyways, we break. We come into this imbalance. Boom. I'm already entered. Down candle. Perfect. It's coming up. So now we have in the retracement. Oh my God. In the fucking retracement. Okay. So I'm looking at it like this. Yes, I would have loved for it to just keep going. Guess what? It did not. But from this lower high to this lower low, what's inside that leg? What's inside that leg? This liquidity. But look at that right there. Look at 50% from this lower high to this low. Where's 50%? Eyeballing it right there, just right here. You see how it comes right above these equal high guys right here? And then we tag that first imbalance underneath it, but it rejects. So this is that lower high. Then what do? They come down and they hit that lower low. This is a 1 hour imbalance, by the way. I'm going to show it to you in a second. But we just sniped them, and then we're still at the 50, and then look, immediately shoots off. So this is what I'm looking at. I can explain it this way, but we're pushing up for a leg up. Then we get to up here, right? And what's it called? What was I going to say here? Nothing much. Anyways, they make a new high and then they retrace it deep hard. Where? Look at the 50. Look at the low to this high. I have it in a quad. On a 50 level. A 50 fib right here. Just right here. See 50%? Look how we smashed down hard. Well, they first pushed up hard. And I was like, dude, I was going to try to get out. But then it happened so fast, I couldn't. Came right to a 50. So then I had to sit here and fucking hold it. But it came right to the 50. Do you see that wick? Do you see that low right there? Hitting the 50? That's perfect. It's perfect. Okay? So then I was expecting this, obviously, right? For a new leg up. Okay. So I have the targets there. Before I get to that targets, let me just go back to what I was saying here. On a 5 minute also, you're going to see here that this candle, this 1135, it closed up here and it closed above this here, right? So in a general buy, I'm going to want to see some expansion. And then if I'm buying that first higher low, where is it? It's right there. Notice how it's tagging that 25%. You can see that, right? Let me go back to it 1 minute just so it can be more clear for me. Okay. So this failed. They shot down hard. And if you're doing your analysis, you'll see, what is it called? Where am I? Sorry. You'll see, let me zoom in. Zoom in for real. You see this? So look at this imbalance. I have it highlighted right here. Look how we come to the 50% perfectly. So why I took this first buy here was because it came in and it didn't tag the imbalance, and I thought it was going to be not tagging it. It would be so strong that it wouldn't have tagged it. That's relating to over here. This guy right fucking there. And I had everything I needed. My model is this. I'm already looking for a retrace back and then an expansion. That's my model. If you're for bullish, you're looking for that. Right? Obviously. So that failed. Then they came in and they tagged that 1 hour imbalance. I have it right here. Third drive, 1 hour bull imbalance. Let's go back. Third drive, 1 hour imbalance. So I'm letting you know, I know this is the third drive and then the 1 hour imbalance. I just showed it to you. So this is not just hindsight. All right. But look how it tags that 50 perfectly. I'm aware of that. Once it tags it, I'm already out. I've already got stopped out. The price should not be fucking down here. This, when it expanded and it made this buy right here, this should have kept going. Okay. It did not. Look at the candles. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. They're leaking down. They're going to come for another drive. But guess what happens? When they shoot down so fast, I'm like, dude, that was bogus. It immediately happened so fast that this next candle just opened up and shot up here. So now right away, I'm like, you bastards. Number one. Number two, I know what you're doing. So, okay, cool. I'm going to have to get in on this imbalance right here. But I need to let them show me that that's going to be the case. So what happens? This pushes up. We get these 4 bullish candles. Get to the 930. Okay, cool. I am going to buy the first higher low. What does it do? Once I make this the low to this high, all right, it doesn't even hit the 50. But I have this imbalance drawn. You're going to see that I don't have this one drawn. All right, it's just too much on the chart. But I understood that it could dip into here. So now the price is coming back into this imbalance here. It snaps right to the 25% of that opening range gap. Don't forget that's in the background, okay? Now it tags it, and then it tags it one more time, you little bitches. And I understand that, I should have just drawn it, but I didn't want to draw it. But there's an imbalance right there. You see it, right? I don't have to draw it. I'm going to draw it and make a long video. And my price is going up, just so you know. All right. Come on. This is what irritates me teaching for free. Definitely. But okay, so let's move this for a second. Okay. So I understand that. I'm giving you fire here. I understand that. And it dips in beautifully. That could be an entry. You have support with that 25% of that opening range gap, right? Let's go back. I have to include the gap right there. So whatever. All right, I'm gonna delete this back. Okay. So the point is that once it comes down, what if it kept coming down? Well, I don't want to be pushing by there. So what does it do? It needs to show me fucking momentum going the other way. So what does it do? This candle. Let me do it. I need to do it this way. Okay. 1143 wicks it. 1144 it stays there. I don't have no confidence yet. Like for my confirmation. 1145. Now look at 1145. We're talking about closure of candles and openings. Remember this 1130 candle, it closed up. Look how it closes back in. That's going to form a swing. That candle supports expansion to turn around because it closes back in. The third candle, which is of this swing. All right, that's why I took this. See, you see why I took this buy here? Because it looked like it was going to be that swing. And this next third candle of the swing should have just kept going. It did not. It rejected. That's how I know this failed. Pay attention. This 1130 closed in. Look at the third candle. The third candle is 1145. It opens and it starts. Let's go back to the 1 minute. 1145. It opens right here. It shoots down. It's a wick and it closes. I don't know yet. This 1146, the second candle of the 15-minute candle of the 1145. Look how it opens. It dips and it starts expanding and pushing that way. That's exactly what I want to see, and that's how that's how the trade got entered, because it broke this little structure there. I already know that we tapped this. I already know that we're here and we're respecting it. And I'm expecting that now 1145 candle to expand. Look at it. Look how it ended up right there. Look how it closes up here. So I'm in the clear. I'm holding. Guess what? That's this candle closing right here, and then another candle expanding to continue. Where is it? Look at the 1159. And then this is the 12 o'clock candle. This is the next 15-minute candle. It literally is damn near opening on that first imbalance, just about. And notice how the breakaway imbalance that never gets really filled. Well, it's happening here too, but it's happening here. We slightly maybe tap it right here, which is fine, but it still stays empty pretty much. At the 930 here, we push up and then we retraced back into the 930, used it as a little support, and then it took off. Now that I've mentioned all that, that's that fire, baby. That's that fire, because now I have proof. So here it's dipping back in, right? I could have even drawn on an imbalance right there. You can see we tapped in it, came in, and then we just started to take off. Now, targets on the top side. What do I have here? I have this fucking circle. This is very specific, just so you know. It's very specific. Here, I'm telling you that the average daily range is around 300 points, okay? When we're 200 points would be here from that low of the day of 940. Let's just say it's 940. So obviously 040, 040. Look at my entry. My entry is 040. All right. So that's my, the 100 points is, we are 100 points away from the low when I enter this. So I'm expanding up to what? Well, another 100 points would be now 200 points in the day, which would be 140. Okay, and that's where I'm showing you this level. You can't make this shit up. Look to your right. 140 right there. See that? I'm doing that on purpose. Notice how we shot right to it. Okay, cool. Let's go back. So what does it do? The price comes above, taps on this upper quadrant of that first imbalance, use it as support. I'm dragging it on purpose. This is very, very clear. You're also in this imbalance here. That's fine. But then it shoots right to it was like 145 or whatever the fuck it was, right? Okay, cool. Then it immediately shoots down to this 50. I got it already in the chart. And it shoots down. I said, I'm gonna keep holding it because they fucked me. But I had to sit and endear through the rest of this. Generally speaking, if my entry is gonna be like at the beginning of lunch, pre-lunch or whatever, this is gonna be a 3-hour trade, right? So I'm understanding that. Okay, but where am I going specifically is this algorithmic level. I have this -2, the low of this circle. Look to your left, look to your left, look to your left, look to your left here. The low of that circle is -2. So I know that once we came into this 101.5, we came back in, or accumulating, came back in, right? My target is this -2 at minimum. That's the circle right there. Okay, you can't make this up, buddy. Okay, then what's right above the -2? This -1. I have that also. I'm also measuring the low. Now we're getting into this. Don't get lost in all this. Forget this 50 fib. I have a low to this high. That's the high to the retracement, to retracement low, and we break through. Where's my -1? Right there. So I'm coupling the circle. I'm highlighting that as an area I want to get to next. What's after that? This -2. Okay. And what's after that? You're going to say, oh, the -5. No, I have this projection. Remember this? On the higher time frame, 4 hour, where's -1.5? Positive standard deviation, 1.5. Look to your right. Look to your right. Do you see my circle? Do you see that that's the top of that circle? I'm being very fucking specific. So what did they end up doing? Well, me, personally, first, I end up, what do you call it? Once the price came to this 50, you have this low, this high, this higher low. So that is your higher low of your structure. And they took out these guys. Notice there's 3 drives there. 1, 2, 3. All right, look at all this. Just like when it made this low and it pushed up and it came back in, that's a higher low right here. Notice how they take out that guy. If you put a fib on it, you'll see that it's under 50, right? So from this low to this high, you can see that we come back in, right? You see that? See how it comes right back in? Anyways, higher lows. First, bounce of the PM session holds price. And then what am I doing here? Well, I'm taking out that high, right? I understand that it can reach 240, okay? Because I entered at 0.40. The low is 9.40. And here is 140. And obviously, it could reach to 240 up here, right? That would be 300 points of a daily range. But I'm getting the fuck out early. Why? Because I'm hitting key levels here. There's nothing to the left of the chart. And this is why I am managing it this way. So we get this extension here. All right, after this low, I'm not worried about it taking it coming back in. I know already it's going to be a classic buy day. So I'm not worried about it coming in, especially not yet, because we haven't hit these levels. So then it expands, and I'm reaching, and I'm now at this point, I'm like, I'm fucking over it and done, and I want to be done. Notice I'm screenshotting it once it hit this negative 1. It's laying, the picture's laying on the negative 1, period. So then I'm like tight. I'm like really jamming it now. Candle by candle by candle. What did we do after that? What did we do after that? We came to that negative and a half and 1.5 on this projection here to that 1 and 1.5. Do you think it's a coincidence that I decided to sell all the way back? Where? To people with this breakout level. See, when I make this structure here, higher high, higher low. When I make my higher high, I mean, I'm expecting it to expand. They're wanting to reach up here. So look at the negative 1.5. Look to your right. So I ended up getting out right here. Could I have bought this? Yeah, it's sitting in balance. I know I'm going to get squeezed out and it's going to still go up. And then it makes these little higher lows, but I'm not willing to be involved. And there's no need to be involved. But notice how it came up to this 1 and 1.5. Oh, what's the high here? 231. What did I say the high was going to be? An average daily range was going to be 300 points from the low. Right? Where's the low? We said it was 240, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Over here. 240. Actually, it's not even 240. It's 243. What's the low here? Which one is it? This one. Low is 943.25. Okay, fine. Whatever. 943.25. We came to 231. All right. Let's just say 10 points away. Okay. But now that you understand what I just mentioned, now you understand how I'm doing what I'm doing by entering here and holding to here. I'm getting the portion of the move of the daily range. Obviously, I'm not in Asia, right? So I'm getting the low of the session, which I couldn't because they did this bogus, and that's what it is. But this signature of candlestick price action and closing and the way it looks and the way it performed is telling me that it's going to reverse and go the other way. Period. Just like this little stupid move here. Whatever. But yeah, man, fire. This is fire. This is beautiful. And then to go back in the conversation of what do we do with all-time highs? I don't feel comfortable trading all-time highs. Should I trade something else? And all that. Well, I don't feel comfortable trading it when I had no structure or no, the fucking price just opened up. But what is the learning lesson here? When you're really bullish and you get to these type of scenarios where you're just breaking through, it's just breaking through. So, I could tell myself, well, bro, I should have just bought it here and held it. Yeah, for 26,000 at minimum, that would have been a very responsible thing to do. But I don't have to be. I could skip a day or two and still trade. The AM session was not going to be in my favor. But this scenario, obviously the price action is not in your favor, but it still performed. So in this case, what do you learn from this? Because you're going to remember this for the rest of your fucking life if you've been watching these videos. Well, we have higher highs and higher lows. Monday just opens up and you're not going to see it happen in this so-called AI race and bubble we're not even going to call it a bubble in this AI situation that we're in. Obviously, that's why you saw also when you have Nvidia and then pushing the fuck up like this is now also in confluence with my buy day. But in general speaking, we are making these higher highs and higher lows. When we get to this top, and I made the video here and I said we're going to get to 26,000, which we did, all right, they decided to pull back here. Look on the 15-minute. You can see if I had an imbalance right there. It's a breakout level. But on the 4-hour, this is how I was able to take a look. The 4-hour. Let's be very clear that's that 4-hour, 50% to the tick, right? So when I'm drawing this, hey, I'd love to see a retrace and an expansion. Okay, it didn't give it to me the way I wanted it, but it happened. It still happened. So if we do this, we'll say when I drew it, instead of it coming fucking all the way back down, it just did this. That's all you got. And then you got this, and then you got this, and then you got that, right? So this portion is that classic buy day. And I mentioned yesterday, like I said, you're going to probably see Tuesday be another bullish day into Wednesday, right? Why? Because we have rates and we have this expansion hardcore. I have traded enough all-time highs to understand that this is very possible. You're going to say, well, why didn't we ever get that in these situations moving up? Well, because we have time still in the year. When we pop up above this all-time high, we came back to it. When we popped up above that. So this is kind of like this situation where we're in now, these 3 bullish days like that, is very similar to this, right? Not very clear, but it's very similar. This, we popped up above, we came under, we swept the breakout level. Then we had constant 3 days buying, right? And that's like in this kind of scenario, all right? Because that was an all-time high, and we pushed up, we retraced, and that's fine. I'm not going to get into the semantics of it, but the point is that we're pushing up. Let's just call this. Forget this example. Just look at this. This September 12th, 13th. No, okay. Well, it became Monday the 15th, and then September the 16th, which is Tuesday. So those 3 consecutive days buying is basically what I'm saying. Maybe people have a name for this. I don't really give a fuck if there is a name for it. Point is that that's kind of what this is, and the gaps included, right? So I hope this makes sense and explains, what you're doing up here. Now, do I want to buy at an all-time high? No, I don't. But I had the framework. I had the framework of this retracement and pushing up. Like if the price wasn't already up here, then I would be a different conversation. It really would. And also, if this fucking candle had closed and it's, you start to see it maybe sealing here, that would be also a very different conversation. Okay? But it happened to give me, they told on themselves with this, is what I'm trying to say. So that's how I'm entering and involved here. And the rest is just history, man. I mean, what else can I say there? So look at this 4-hour candle, boy, you fucking pussies. So, yeah, I made a long video. Let me try to move forward. Dollar, whatever. Really don't care. But I mean, I know it sounds stupid when I say that, but right now it's not really. It's still bearish, but like it has a possibility of turning bullish. Obviously, we know it shouldn't be bullish with how much they print money, but I'm expecting it to keep coming down. I expected October for it to push back up, and it did. But I mean, we're still so bullish, especially with this AI thing. And that's another thing I forgot to say yesterday, is that we have that situation in NASDAQ, is obviously NASDAQ, right? So let me just move forward here. Nothing really impressive for me to talk about here, but notice that 5-minute candle that I got in on 11:35 after it came in. I got in actually after 11:40. So it was 11:45. But when it pulled back in, notice how it closed above here. Now, the same story with, look at S&P. S&P closes, doesn't close, but then we get this deeper retracement from once it pushed up, it came back in. That's that real 50. underneath it, we didn't get that, but I was using the algorithmic information I gave you. But I understood that it could switch up. So that's that higher low. So if you saw lower pricing and closed candles, again, this conversation would be fucking different. So you had a divergence here with a nice sell off right there. So Dow, had this shit right here or whatever. And then, how could you have been involved? I've already mentioned to what I mentioned here. So even here, right there, I didn't need this at all. I don't require it in my model for it to buy, but you can see that it's a higher low there. And we had lower lows here. I was buying it anyway. So, but this was just more confirmation, right? Okay, so I made a long video. I know I did, but what did we get? So we get this little funky pullback, right? And then we expand, right? They're trying to make new premiums. The whole point of this whole conversation is that they didn't get here, so they did not instill a new premium, okay? And also, the conversation is that they need to also make lower highs here and liquidity because there's nothing left of the chart. So while they're going up, so I understood that too. So this is fucking ugly. Again, why I don't trade Dow. But coming back, look at this shit. Oh my god, dude, that would suck. Anyways, they came. It's a speaker for them, bro. I mean, again, this is what. Now the first move coming down into the 50. Oh, that's great. That was nice. That's cool. And then for it buying up for a new high, that's cool. But for it to come back down again, yeah, that's classic fucking Dow. That's why I don't fuck with them. Long run. S&P, same story. So they pulled in the previous candle, top 25% of the body of Monday. And then that's also the part of the conversation. And then they expanded up. All right. Where are they at now? Boy, fucking almost at 7,000, but whatever. So we created an imbalance. That's why I said most likely Tuesday will keep going. Why? Because there's one imbalance there. There's a gap. And then now there is an imbalance here with Monday's candle. So that's why you would expect price to come up, create the imbalance. Now maybe Wednesday we roll back in. Okay. That's what I said yesterday, but we'll see how they do it. Especially with the FOMC rate agenda. It's going to be pretty wild, but at the same time, everything's priced in. I could keep talking for days, but here this is prettier with S&P because we didn't push up as a pump. I hate when they do that shit, but here this is my model in a nutshell right here. You retrace back right from the 930. We seal it. We have another drive down. It's only 2 drives here, and then what? Make a new high. When they made a brand new high, why do you think they pushed up? So you may be asking, why did I hold when it pushed back in and retraced? Was I able to keep holding it? Because there's nothing on the left of the chart. Here's another addition to all-time highs with nothing there. When they pushed up real fucking quick and then sold off, there are high frequency traders, algorithms selling this as soon as they see some type of new high or push back down. So they got to create liquidity here while they're going up, right? So when it pushed up and it shot right back down, this is more I'll just go back into this, which was very pretty here. I ain't gonna lie. They shot up quickly and they came back in at 50%. How was I able to keep holding that? Was because I understood that this is liquidity that they have to build to keep going higher, right? Anyways, I think I've said enough, man. So, that's why I was like, okay, I'm overstaying my welcome after this. But take a look. We hit that negative 1.5 and almost at 240, 10 something points away, right? Did I want to keep holding for it? Yeah, I did. But guess what? My duration's over. I know generally speaking, I'm going to be looking for a 3-hour trade in this framework. Okay. This was a 2-hour sell-off, pretty much. All right. And then it was a 3-4 hour buy, right? But I'm only be a part of the 3 hours. Okay, all right. I know I've said enough. I don't think there's anything I'm missing. Just let me take a look at seasonal data. I'm really tired of making videos, guys. Just to be honest with you, where is this shit at? 40 fucking minutes. God God damn. So, but the month is ending. So, you have a possible sell model here where we come right back in. They might want to dip in, but we are supposed to close high. So Wednesday, let's just, again, I'm going to go back to perfect world. We have expansion, retracement, expansion. All right. So in a perfect world, if it was to just keep buying the fuck up, I mean, you're looking at something like this, right? If it's going to be a classic buy day again. But tomorrow is tomorrow, so maybe they'll do this first, but then they'll come in and sell off hard, right? I know this looks extreme, but the point of this is that we should come back and see a new high and close up, right? So let me, goddamn man, let me do this again. Fuck, I can't keep doing this. Hold on. So we never came back, dude. Again, it's so weird. Again, I still want to see. I do want to see. I just don't see how this can happen. But and it's because of the fact that there's only 3 more days left. Again, I know this is a far range, so I don't expect it to happen, but it all depends on Asia, London, where we are. But the structure, the flow, and the structure is supposed to be like this. Yes, we're still getting these little shallow ass moves. So let's just say it that has been the case, and we're not really gonna come into this fucking gap yet until, let's just say, maybe like the last second week of November or something, or we dip in. But right now, if we're going to close this month out and keep it simple, then again, I'm trying to think here, man. Maybe they just do this, and that's it. Not there. It doesn't go really too far. I don't know. I know there's an imbalance here that I can draw. See if they want to come into that. I'm gonna draw it now. Damn, I made a video long. I mean, I think this is an important time. Notice how this daily imbalance here held majority of the bodies of that. I'm gonna delete this. I don't need this here. Have that projection there. We came into the 1 and 1.5. So, does Wednesday really want to reach in here and then pull back? I don't know. And then notice that all-time high there. We sat there, and this is still there. Just gonna move it back over here. And come on, bro. See, this is why if I'm gonna really share everything, dude, like, it sucks. I have long videos, bro. I know you don't care, but my price going up, man. It needs to. It needs to, right? What was I about to do right now? I'm just cleaning this up here. Don't need that. Don't need that. And one day that'll maybe get visited. And I should actually, let me close the door. Wife is home. I want to draw a gap. What's left of this gap here? Hey, you never know. I'm not saying we're coming down here now. I'm just saying, I'm just going to leave that there because I know that's an inefficiency. And, yeah, we'll see what happens from here. I don't really... What was the purpose of me making this video longer? I was going to say something, wasn't I? I mean, this month is pretty much like, So, trading post 230 makes sense, right? Unless, it's shot down and then, a smaller time frame, you can catch the vibe going up and 230 pushes it off. 2-stage delivery, so I'm expecting manipulation at 2 o'clock and then, into 230, 245, doing its real move, right? So we'll see how that looks out. You guys take care. God bless.